Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and our viewers at home. Welcome to the regular Arts and Culture meeting for the City of Glendale for Thursday, August 21st at 2 p.m. With that, let's have a roll call, please.
Commissioner Lee?
Present.
Commissioner Dehovannisian?
Present.
Commissioner Solis?
Here.
Commissioner Wagner?
Here.
Commissioner Kivanian's absent. Chairperson Gregorian.
I'm here.
The agenda for the 21st meeting was posted on the bulletin board outside City Hall on August 15th, 2008.
Okay, thank you. Let's have the next item on the agenda, please.
Introductions and presentations. Art installation at Adams Square Mini Park.
Okay, we have Michael Sheehan today, an artist, and he will talk about his installation at the Adams Square Mini Park. Please come. Yes, please.
Thank you for the opportunity to see you guys again, most of whom
Hi, Michael.
if all goes well, thanks to the good offices of Richard Espinoza, starting hopefully on the 2nd of September, a Tuesday, the day after Labor Day, I'll do an art installation at the little gas station at the corner of Palmer and Adams in the Adams Hill area. Started this process back in June, and now it seems to be coming to some kind of a head. And this is to invite you all to come. And for those of you that haven't seen the gas station, there's a little picture of where the installation will go. And that invitation being given to you, I'm here also to pitch the idea that if this installation is well received, that if you'd pass those around to the commissioners, please. I have a proposal to try an experiment to see if on a monthly or 6-week basis, under your aegis, there might be an opportunity to have artists present ideas to do installations in the little gas station and have them up for, in my estimation, 4 to 6 weeks. Whether or not this is feasible, and as the rumor is coming around, whether you guys will still be around, which I hope you are. If you have the power to help facilitate something like this, I'm here to volunteer to help. I live in the Adams Hill area. I'm an experienced artist, and I really want to see something happen with that space. It's a gorgeous space. The city spent $1 zillion fixing it and refixing it.
A zillion?
And now I've been fortunate to almost get the go-ahead to do my project there, which will be to fill the space, which is about 1,700 cubic feet, with transparent balloons, which will bring attention to the building, and they'll transform over the period of time that they'll be in there, and hopefully it'll gain, maybe somebody will say, well, what do you mean, 2,000 balloons in a gas station? Well, all it is just an idea. And because the type of art that I do is installation art, and I've been somewhat successful with it, I'm just hoping that something good will happen there, and that you guys and that the city will see the benefit in using the space for artwork. Do you have any questions?
Yes.
Question and comment. Well, I'm looking forward to this, Michael. The start date you said is September 2nd?
Tentatively, yes.
Okay, and then it will be there through...
Well, we're negotiating that now.
Okay.
I'd hope to have it up for at least a week, and because it's taken longer to get all of the process going, because frankly we've never done this before, I would like to have it up for at least a couple of weeks. But the art walk, the studio tour, is coming along on September 14th, and so I would like to have it out and away so that the Tropico group, who will be in there
Yes.
for the art walk, will have a nice clean space.
Do you have an estimated time for the beginning of, is there a time that we should try to be there? That's also, of course,
Well,
the first day of school in Glendale.
If you want to blow up balloons, check with me to make sure, at directortv41@yahoo.com, check with me to make sure that that's the actual time. And then stop by. I'll have a helium tank and an air compressor, and anybody that has lungs is welcome to come.
I believe I'll be visiting schools on that opening day of school, but in the evening, would you expect to be there still?
I did a little experiment, and unless I get a lot of help, it's going to take me all day to get the balloons all blown up.
Okay. Well, I look forward to it, and I think that the Arts Commission if it's here or its successor, if there is one, a job like that to help facilitate ongoing exhibits is a perfect activity and a needed one for the city. It's a space that was the reason we in Adams Hill wanted that building preserved was for that very kind of project, among possible other storytelling and a whole series of activities that could be continued.
The opportunities are endless if we figure out a way to get people in there unmolested.
We need to develop the process, and I want to thank you for your part in getting that going and your persistence in making it happen.
Persistence seems to be my long suit sometimes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you. Any other questions? Michael, in case this is not September 2nd, do you have any alternative date or?
Well, the city originally asked me for a date, and I said the end of August. I had a meeting with George Chapchin the 23rd of June, and then they asked me for a specific date, and I said, well, how about the 24th of August through the following weekend? And then the process for getting all of the T's crossed and the I's dotted has taken longer than I anticipated, and so consequently, it's been up in the air.
So to speak.
I've hoped that it would happen on the 24th, but it can't now, and I haven't been able to invite people to come and help or invite people to come and hang out because we don't have a start date yet.
Oh.
And so I'm flexible. I would like to have a little further start date so I could do more advertising and do invitations, but I'm willing to go along with whatever powers that be.
My next question is, are you flexible on the dates? And the reason I'm asking is September 2nd apparently is the first day of school and, all kinds of activities. And also September 2nd tentatively is scheduled for the City Council to hear the staff report on the Arts Commission. So most of the commissioners might be at that meeting. So.
All of the dates that I've chosen, Resnick, has been arbitrary. I just wanted to do it sometime around the end of August, and it was just an arbitrary choice because I thought starting in June that giving whomever I had to ask 2 months to get it done would be an adequate period of time, and it's been almost an adequate period of time.
Okay, so
I'm totally flexible as long as I can have at least a week and not run into the problem with the studio tour, which is coming up.
So what will make you to finalize this?
Pardon me?
What will make you to finalize the days? What would you...
Well, Richard's working on that now. I have to have insurance, so I have to get insurance. I have to get permission from some other people. I don't know if a permit is involved.
Yeah, definitely. You will need to get approval from other departments.
Okay,
like
well,
fire department.
there's all this stuff that Richard has been doing yeoman's work helping me with. And I'm flexible. This is just something I want to do for my neighborhood and for the city of Glendale, and to
I think it's a fabulous idea. I think it's a fabulous idea as long as we can coordinate it properly so that we can help you as much as we can. I think that's a great idea.
Well, you've always been
From what
supportive.
I
Thank you.
understand, it means that Richard is going to give you the time or the day based on whatever all the paperwork is done, so he would let you know what would be the right time and right date? Okay.
Hopefully the date could be pushed back or forward, whichever we say, a little further, so I'd have a little bit more time to do some advertising. But
That works well.
at this point, I would just like to get it done, and I hope that it's to the glory of all of us and the hard work that Richard's done.
Okay, great. Any other questions from Mr. Sheehan? No? All right, thank you, Michael.
Very much.
Thank you. All right, next item on the agenda, please.
Consent items. Approval of regular commission meeting minutes from July 17, 2008 at 2 p.m.
Move approval?
Second.
Any comments, additions, corrections?
Fine.
Okay. All right, let's go for the roll call, please.
Commissioner Lee?
Yes.
Commissioner Dovanesian?
Yes?
Commissioner Solis?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner?
Yes.
Commissioner Karanian is absent. Chairperson Gregorian?
Yes. Thank you. Next one.
Oral communications.
Okay, in this section, the public have 5 minutes to speak on any subject that they would like. There will be no debate or any decision from the commission, but we will have the right to ask you maybe a question or two. And if anything, if there is any issue that we might agendize, we might do it for the future meetings, but right now it's just a public comment. And you will be allowed 5 minutes, and Mr. Espinoza will time you, and please try to keep it within that time. All right. I have 4 cards. The first name is Carol Worthy, and hi. She is going to talk about Art Day and the paintings, and I'm looking forward to hearing your comment.
Well, it's my great pleasure to appear before the commissioners who put so much art, culture, and human interaction between people and groups here in this beautiful city. I do so many things here. I'm not a resident, but I should be, because I dine and shop and go to art events all the time in this fabulous town. It's my favorite place, actually. Now, I'm here to report to you all about a very successful event. It's kind of a debriefing, so feel free to ask me any questions after I present this. This was, and you have the news article, and the photographer is here too, who took this picture of me at what is called a paint out. Now, I don't really like that. I don't think it's graffiti we're painting out. We're painting in on canvases, and we're creating interaction with the wonderful shoppers and onlookers that frequent this beautiful, the Americana at Grand. This is the 3rd time that there has been such a grouping of artists painting outdoors. Actually, last year it was in the Glendale Galleria, inside. And this time we all gathered around. It had been organized by several people. One of them is Julie Schneider. She's a professional artist. And I met her at an art event. And so she told me about it. She told the Glendale Arts Association about it. She told artists at the Canyon about it. And so we all gathered there, and we painted from 9 in the morning through the sun and the shade, hopefully shade, till 1 o'clock at the Americana. And we got such a wonderful response from the people walking by. We weren't allowed to sell. That wasn't the purpose. The purpose was to celebrate, and I'm going to show you my painting from that, celebrate the beauty of that, and interact art and people interacting. And I think that's aligned to what your purpose is, right? Wonderful. Now, I am a professional composer. I've given Commissioner Wagner my personal biography as a composer, and you're welcome to all look at it as well. And I would like you to each have a card from me. I'm not really here to promote myself, but I will say that I'm an unusual combination. Carol Worthy is both a professional, orchestral, and classical composer. I can arrange in jazz and pop, too. And I am a painter, and I have great pleasure in showing this, which is called Fun at the Fountain. I don't know if that is on camera. Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes. And I did most of it that morning. But, of course, I polished up different parts of it. I'm still working on it. But it's such a beautiful spot. And it was really a pleasure for people just walking by, shoppers, people dining out, people just visiting with friends in the beautiful location, to see art being made. And that brings art alive. Would you not agree? Okay, so we want to continue this tradition. It's I come here as a representative of Becky Nate, who founded Art Day. Glendale is the hometown of Art Day, and eventually we want to spread it around the world to let everyone know that art is valuable, that it isn't just a fringe on the shawl of life, that it expresses the essence of the joy and creativity that one can have in sharing your viewpoint with other people. So that is the wonderful event that I want to tell you about, and I want to thank you, each and every one of you personally, for the hard work and dedication that you do and the vision that each one of you have and that you share as a group, because I really, truly do love Glendale. It really is a special place for me. I'm here so often, every week, several times. And I believe in the mission of Art Day and the mission of events like this. Any questions?
Any questions?
It was a wonderful presentation. Thanks for sharing your work and sharing your vision about the city. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And
Pleasure.
And thank you. I missed the event at the Americana, but did enjoy the day at Becky's, and
Lovely.
it was really a delight, and glad that you could participate there at the Americana.
She, personally, I can express to you, is very grateful for the support of the commission, you know. And as we spread Art Day throughout the world, I'm really not a member, but this is the first thing I have ever necessarily done for Art Day and presenting this to you. But as we spread this, the name of Glendale goes out to the world, too.
Mhm.
May I pass?
Any other comments from the commissioners or questions? I really appreciate your and Becky's persistence and hard work in organizing these issues. So I think this is very important to make, to raise public awareness to arts and artists, and I really appreciate that.
Delighted to hear that.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
I was just sharing that. I was going to pass it down
So
to
that's just
Stephen.
one copy, okay. All right. The next speaker is Luna Lucine Vagarshakian.
You had a problem with Luna?
I had a problem with Luna, but I didn't have a problem with Vagarshakian.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me today. My name is Luna Vagarshakian. I am the owner of Luna Dance on Colorado, 415 West Colorado. I have over 300 students from age of 3 and up. And I just wanted to share what I do with you guys because I do a lot for the young kids and I would say teenagers because we go to a lot of schools. Glendale High School, Hoover High School, Roosevelt, all of the schools, and we perform there because we have a lot of invitations all the time. And we do that because we want to do something for the schools. And because we have so many students from all of the schools. And I've been teaching already about over 10 years, since I was 14 years old. And we were located before on Glendale Avenue, Glendale and Chevy Chase. And then now our location is on Columbus and Colorado. It's right next to Americana. So I just wanted to tell you guys that I would love to participate in any events that you guys have. Just know that you guys could count on my school. We'll love to perform for you guys for any events that you would invite us. And we do every style. We from modern classical ballet to hip-hop to belly dancing to Armenian to salsa. And recently I had a very big show at Ford Amphitheater, and this is the catalog. I wish I was here earlier to invite you guys. There was about 1,500 people and 112 dancers, and we had an amazing show. Till today, everybody who was there, they were talking about it, and we worked very hard for it, and I'm happy everybody liked it. You know, it's really hard to have 112 dancers on stage, and we did a wonderful job, and thanks to me and my helpers. I do have helpers at my dance place, and also my father, which is at the same school that I am. He's a martial art teacher. So we have the same studio, and we have the guys that go to karate and the girls. So I have only girls at my dance, so. And my school have been on from all stages to Kodak Theater, to Shrine Auditorium, to Greek Amphitheater, to Alex Theater. Last year was my concert there. So I just wanted to tell you that I do have a lot of influence on a lot of kids. And if you have ever need of that, I could help you with anything you guys would ask me to. So I don't know if you have any other questions for me. I would love to answer you. So
Thank you so much.
Thank
By the
you.
way, Luna, she comes from a family of artists. Her mom is a professional painter, and she's going to participate at the Open Studio Tour as well.
Thank you.
I have a question. Well, you have given us your card,
Yes.
and do you come and teach lessons at sites? I would like to see how we can negotiate
I would love to.
for after-school programs.
I would love to if you just let me know. I'm not only myself, but I have several helpers that are in a classroom. And imagine if I have so many parents trusting their kids with me and my helpers, then we might be doing something right, you know. So that's why I would love to do that, and I like to do something for Glendale, because Glendale is the reason I'm so popular. Everybody knows Luna Dance School, and you know, our next thing we're gonna try to talk with Americana and do some performance for them, because the first day we were there, we danced. My girls was just there. They danced, and everybody was like around them. They thought it's a show, but we said one day we'll do a show for them too. So, any other questions you have? I would love to answer you.
Yes.
Any relation to Luna Playhouse?
No. Playhouse came after Luna Dance. So, yes.
Any other questions?
You might expect a call from the Glendale Unity Festival Committee that's being set up now for October 12th on Brand Boulevard.
Nice.
So
I would love
we
to.
expect a call.
I would love to. And whenever my DVD is ready, I would love to give you one for you to see
Fantastic.
what work we have done. So, any other questions?
So you have established your school for what, 10 years now?
Yes.
Okay.
10 years with the help of my father, which is the martial art teacher.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have over 300 students. And
Are you
I
a
work
dancer
with-
too?
Yes, of
You're a
course.
professional dancer.
I'm a professional dancer. That's what I teach. So, besides dance, I try to talk to them a lot about life, a lot about schools, and a lot of parents ask me to do that because they listen to me and they trust me and they respect me, because at my school it's all about respect. It's all about respect for the elders, and that's what I've been taught from my parents, from my teacher who was my dad. I also went to karate for 18 years, so I've been a world champion in martial arts, and that's how actually I started. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions from Ms. Wagarshakian? All right, thank you. Thanks for your
So much.
presentation.
Of
Thanks.
course.
The next speaker I have is one of our old friends, Alexander Sadoyan.
Hi everybody, my name
Hello.
is Alexander Sadoyan. I am artist. With pleasure I am invite everybody in my solo exhibition. The opening reception is August 30, 4 p.m. And I hope you, everybody in my exhibition, will be very glad. And address in Satko Gallery is 305 North Brand Boulevard, Glendale, California.
301?
Thank you.
What's the address again?
305
305.
North Brand Boulevard, Glendale, California. Thank you very much.
How long will this exhibition go?
Maybe 20 days.
About 20 days. Okay. Any questions from Mr. Sadoyan?
Thank you for this invitation.
What's
It
the
was
phone
very
number
inviting.
for this gallery?
Phone number 244
Mm-hmm.
2854.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions from Mr. Sadoyan? He just left. Okay. All right.
Is he on the Open Studio Tour?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Alex. Next speaker, I have Irina Raulinaitis.
Raulinaitis.
Hello.
Hello.
Very happy to be here, and you did very well with my last name.
Thank you. It's the
I'm
easy ones that I don't get it right.
well. I'm here from the Brand Galleries. We are going to have a Brand 37 show, which is the 37th show after the gallery was added onto the Brand Mansion. And for a number of years, it has been works on paper. Now, you would think works on paper are little tiny things. Well, some are the size of mattresses. So this year we had Kim Abelies as our juror. She is world known. She's been featured in the LA Times, and she has selected 85 works out of about 700 that were submitted from all over the United States. And so we have these 85 works. There are paintings, there are photographs, there's digital arts, there's sculpture, anything you can imagine that one can do on paper or with paper. And we have our opening on September 27th, and we have the ceremonies from 4 to 7. Now, we do earmark about $4,000, which come either from the brand associates or from donations, and we accept donations from everybody. There is a purchase award, and there's an award honoring Jane Friend, who has been in charge or participating in these art shows since the beginning. So we have a great big Jane Friend Award, and then we have various businesses and individuals contributing. So the show is going to go from September 27th to October 31st, and it is in the Brand Gallery during the library hours. And I hope that you will be able to attend, if not the opening, at least the show. The galleries are fabulous, and it is amazing that so many people in Glendale don't even know there is a brand park, there's a brand library, that there are galleries there. I don't know how we can promote that. The shows in the art gallery are fantastic. The space is fantastic, and the art is fantastic. So I invite all of you, and I hope to see all of you at the opening, and I will answer any questions that I may. So do you have anything that I can
Yes, I know at least one commissioner has.
Well, it's not so much a question. I will be there to help with the reception as my Brand Library Associates liaison position requires. But I would just point out, I don't know if you all got to see the exhibit of the award of some of the award-winning art from the 37 years of has just been on display. Is that?
That's right.
That's
it was
finished
the
now?
show before the one that's on now.
Yes. But it was a wonderful sampling of some of the works that have been presented. So.
And you should see the Purchase Award this year. It's totally different, and as often happens, the artists say not for sale, but then we twist their arm a little bit.
We will be, once school gets underway, we will be getting the word out, certainly to students, to invite them to experience that facility, and again, we'll try to see if we can get some students involved in an ongoing way.
Well, thanks for mentioning that, because some students from Glendale High applied, and I'm very happy that they did. And I would like to meet maybe with their art teachers and talk more about the presentation of the work and working up the images and actually sort of getting almost a professional approach to entering art shows. And I'm very happy that they applied, and so it's something to get your foot in. It's not an amateur gallery. It is a beautiful gallery, and getting admitted there on and of itself is a real honor. So I do wish that the Department of Education would get in touch with the Brand Associates or with the Commission, and I think we need to get the word out to schools and get young people interested. Another very interesting thing is that about half of the applicants, 300 applicants altogether, 145 were new applicants.
Oh.
So we're grateful for the people who are participating year after year. But yes, we do need new applicants, young applicants, and we get them from all over the United States also.
There is a website, isn't there?
There's a website now.
There is a Brand Associates website, and there is a Brand Library website. And I don't have the Associates website, but the library is brandlibrary.org. What is it?
On the Brand Associates website, there is a page for the brand 36 or 37.
I think it should be on there by now. But what is the web address there? Brand Associates?
Brandarts.org. The same
brandarts.org. Okay. So you can see that a lot of things are going on there. The associates support the dance, the music, and the art programs. So join us. We're a long-established venue. I hear about these new venues, the paint-outs and everything, but do join us, old-timers. So if you have any other questions, I'd be glad to answer.
Any questions?
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes my cards. If there are no other cards or any other speakers, okay, we close that section and let's go to the next one.
Business agenda, there's none. Reports, update on the Open Studio Tour.
Okay.
Okay. I will start off by saying that Open Studio Tour is almost here. We have only 3 more weeks left until the big day. And as of today, we have 140 artists participating at the event with 45 locations. We will have artists who will exhibit their works from their private studios or in group settings. So by viewing their submitted CDs and images, it's a very exciting time. I would say that there are a lot of new talents among us in our community, and it's a great place to be on September 14th to discover these new talents. Once again, I want to talk about the important dates. The Open Studio Tour is going to take place on Sunday, September 14th from 12 to 6. The opening reception is going to be Saturday, September 13th in the Brand Libraries, Art Galleries from 3 to 5. From September 9 to September 19th, every artist that is participating at this Open Studio Tour will exhibit their works. One of their best pieces will be exhibited at the Brand Galleries. So it's only for participating artists. They have to be participating to qualify to show their work at this beautiful, prestigious gallery. I love Brand Gallery. That's the best exhibition hall we have in the whole city, I must say. So, we will also communicate with all artists to remind them about the instructions to drop off and pick up the works in the future this coming week. We're getting very close to that. For the first time, we have a couple of new things that we did this year, and I'm very happy to share that information with you. For the first time, GTV6 will be documenting Open Studio Tour, and we need volunteers. That's the most important part. We will need volunteers to help the cameramen interview or talk to the public, or with the artists, talk to the artists, interview them, introduce the artists, and have fun. It's really entertaining at the same time, you know. Artists will be able to demonstrate and talk about their art, share their techniques, make it more fun, and everything will be documented. It's good to be prepared. I will recommend all artists to be prepared. I don't think it will be possible to cover every artist at the show, 140 artists or plus, but it's good for them to be prepared. It's a short time, and they can have their own media connections to come and cover the event for them anyway. We created awareness, and I think there is a reason why we are experiencing so many artists. It's a record number of artists that are participating at this year's Open Studio Tour. One of the reasons I would say it's we created awareness by being at the cruise night, and I personally have to thank Commissioner Joylene Wagner and our late Commissioner Carlet Derhovanesian for being at the booth and helping us. The other new thing we did this year was the informational reception at the Art Source Fine Art Gallery. We believe it was a success. More than 40 artists showed up. We had an opportunity to meet with them face to face. I helped them out with filling out the applications, answer their questions, and what else? We also, we still continuing our press releases. Of course, our efforts to promote the event is continuing. Next week, by the end of this month, actually, we will see an article, a nice article in Vertigo Monthly with highlights of participating artists' works. Some artists' works will be at that article. We advertised Open Studio Tour at the Vertigo Monthly magazine, Art Scene, which is a very, very effective tool to promote art-related events. It's an email announcement company, and it goes to all art lovers, art galleries, art organizations. Also, LA Weekly will have an advertisement in September 4 issue, LA Weekly. I would really like to thank many people who've been part of this exciting project, especially Richard, who's been working very hard, and he's still working on the biggest task, the map, developing the maps. That's the hardest part. And taking care of the database, doing all the graphics. Oh, I have to thank the graphics people, Douglas Alvarez, Karen Freeze, yes, for his assistance to help us out with our press releases. GTV6, of course, Brian, Thor, and Henry, who have our Open Studio Tour on the bulletin already. Am I forgetting anything? We just need to finalize. Of course, most of the work has been done already, but we still have a lot to do. We are going to finalize the map, postcards, flyers,
and the beeline.
And the beeline. Again, this year we will have a beeline free. So we will make that possible for people, for public to, if they choose to take the tour through Beelines, that will be available for them. The Beeline, and we also want that information to be available back of the flyers. So we need to distribute all the flyers, postcards, maps. These are the most important things. Besides promoting the event to the public, we also want to make sure that they will have that information handy, very easy for them to have the information and enjoy their tour. We're still working on the website. I must say that by the time we had we were getting so many submissions, we had to stop. Otherwise, we probably would have had higher number, more than 140 people. Now that we have all the names and addresses of the participating artists, we are putting together the website. Hopefully, it will be ready before the Open Studio Tour. It's a lot of work, but at least Open Studio Tour, it's not a promise. We are working towards that. Everything that we need for the Open Studio Tour information is ready to be uploaded in the website. So we will start working towards that this coming next week. But the other thing I forgot to mention, I thought it would be a great idea to encourage young people to involve young generation and make them part of our Open Studio Tour.
In what capacity, like a volunteer capacity, or as an artist, or?
Excuse me.
She has a plan.
I send press releases and letters to all commissioners, as well as there is something about this room. This happened last time.
Take your time.
If you need a couple of minutes, maybe we can go on some comments before you continue.
I might share a little. Yes, one of her plans that she asked for some help on and has contacted our district arts representative, who's on vacation right now, would be to encourage students to go on the art tour and then write about it, which I think is very exciting. So she has sent an email to Dr. Joan Schaff, and we'll
yes,
hope
the
that
whole idea was to have art department leaders and let and advertise the event to the schools and children, and to make sure that children will come, the kids will come and be part of it. But to make them more motivated, I thought if they write an essay, 1 or 2 pages, about their experience and about the importance of the arts in our society, they can be encouraged if they get an award from the Arts and Culture Commission and be judged for their essays. That's why I contacted Commissioner Wagner and their Hovanesian to see if that's a possibility. So we are still working towards that, and hopefully, we will get some response.
I would like to say that if that happens, I would be very glad, especially if they would RSVP, because that could mean that the bus situation or the line situation, we need to make sure that we have enough buses. If really parents want to come with their kids, essay is great, and they could also create their own art, because usually kids are very impressionable, and coming and watching beautiful work of art, it gives them ideas, and then they make their own. They could participate with their artwork as well as their writing, because some kids are more of writers and they are more of expressing themselves through the lines and colors. So that could be a great thing. Maybe if Commissioner Wagner would arrange, maybe we could send it through Thursday folders as a flyer, if that would be okay.
Well, I'd like to have her meet with Dr. Schaff, and they can talk about which ways might work, and whether it's a secondary. I think she was talking more about secondary, about the high school art students.
When we were talking about basically for all over, but I don't know if for secondary we could do it differently. For elementary, it's done differently.
We would like to see as many people to visit the art studio tour from the colleges, from private schools, from public schools. So it is very important to see Open Studio Tour have such an important role as an educational. It has that educational element in it as well.
It's a great school-to-career piece for any budding artist.
It is correct. And you know what? Usually art is something that we all learn from each other. Art is education by itself. By seeing different people's styles, it motivates us, it inspires us. So that would be a great, great idea that we hope we can incorporate. And meanwhile, we can use Luna's dancers also as volunteers. As you said, you could recruit as many. She has 300 students from Glendale, so they could come and help you out.
It would have been wonderful to have street performers, to make like a festival, art festival, not just painters. Even though we have actually not only photographers, painters, sculptors, ceramic artists, we have custom design artists as well, and jewelry artists. So it's very interesting how excited we were able to create that excitement in the city and see that everybody wants to be part of it.
You know?
Well, I wondered, I don't know if you are at the point of organizing volunteers, but I wondered how, we have two events that I would think you would need our help at. The opening reception, I expect you would like us there.
Yes, we will need help with the opening reception. We will need help with mailing and distribution. We will need help with cameraman, interviewing,
in the past,
going with him.
In the past, I mean, I remember two different ways. A couple of years ago, we were sort of posted, or we agreed to attend, each of us to attend certain spaces, so that at least every spot, every studio had a commissioner visit, if not more. And then last time, we picked bus rides. We went on the... So I don't know how you'd like us to help. I also know that, and I think it's usually Richard, does a lot of work putting out the balloons at each of the studios, or the signs.
Not the balloons,
the flags.
but the flags.
Yeah.
The flags, the marker. And I would expect that with 45 locations, you might like some help with that. So I don't know how you want to coordinate that with us and send us out assignment sheets.
Well, the way I'm going to handle it.
Okay.
Okay. As far as assignments, I'm going to work on that next week, and I'll send out, I'll break the map down and divide it between commissioners and ask you to do certain sections, try to keep them kind of in the same area. Of course, you're free to go other places too, so you'll be getting that from me. As far as the bus, hopefully we're going to actually, and it was a suggestion made last time, that we recruit people to ride the bus during the reception. So we're going to make a real effort to have people sign up to ride the Beeline on the 13th, Saturday. We could use somebody to help, do the sign up, and if you still want to ride the buses, that too. The third area that concerns me the most is areas that venues that we haven't done before, and it'd be nice to have more than just a representative show up there. It would actually be more of a kind of a working situation, at least in the beginning, and that is we're going to need some representative at Adams Square Mini Park, Alex Theater, Brand, the block of Brand around 300 block. That's in front of Porto's, Damon's. And I know there's one more because I said 4, but I can't at the moment think of it. So again, next week I'll probably be looking at that very closely, and then maybe just make some phone calls to see if any of you are available. We have some other community people that have also said they would be willing. I think if Michael's still in the... Michael said he would help us out, and Zara from Black Maria. So we do have some community people, and again, that's about coordinating, and I'll have to look at that a little closer, and then I will get back to you.
Are we gonna have shirts this year?
No shirts, but you know what?
Hats.
I think there's still some old green ones if you like from about 4 years ago.
I wear those when I go hiking, so if I get lost, you can see me.
Next week is going to be very critical for Ripsody and I, because we have to finalize things like the flyer, the Beeline, the map, and deal with the press releases. So I just want you to know that it's going to be a very busy week next week.
Question?
When do you expect the commissioners to get their assignments for the different places?
Probably by the end of next week.
Yeah. Because that's a very good idea. We used to have that, and it just helps all the artists to know that we do actually go there, physically support them, and that's important. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, two things now. One is that I want to make sure that the Beeline covers all of them, because last time...
It will not.
No.
It's physically impossible.
Isn't it on two schedules, one group first and second?
Right. We are going to, if you look at the map, the majority of the locations are dead center below the 134, straddling the 134 freeway north and south of it. That's where the majority, we have, even though we have 140 some artists, we have only 45 locations. About 35 of the locations straddle north and south of the 134 freeway. So we have somebody who's actually up on Zoe Way all the way up up in the mountain by the foothills of La Crescenta. There's no way we can get a bus. So the extreme areas, there's a good chance that they're not going to get a bus from us, because it would take not only it would just take time to get there and to do some kind of route. So we're going to have to make a decision, and Reps Mayor and I are still talking about that. However, our goal is to try and get as many stops as possible. But I just can't say that we're going to do them all, because I know we're not.
The second part, sorry, is that if the commissioner or commissioners decide to go to as many, how does that work? If you are supposed to be assigned to a group, or how does that work?
Well, what I'll do is let's say 5. How many would be 6 divided into 40?
I won't be there, so 5.
So 5 of you divided, and I'll just give you those. I mean, there's nothing that says you have to do it, but if you do show there, and the group, and each one of you does your assigned spots, that means that just about everybody that's participating will have a commissioner visit them. Now, it's not going to be totally perfect. You might not get to every single one of them, but at least we could say that a majority, 90% of them were covered by commissioners attending.
Question. Now, if we use the B-line, whatever number we cover, that would be more than 5 or 6. Would that work that way? Because I like the idea of the B-line ride and getting to all of those spots.
Well, I would hope that the commissioners would do a little bit more than the B-line, and the reason for that is the B-line is only going to be staying at certain spots for a certain amount of time, and I don't know what that is just yet. It's short, and the reasons for that is obvious. If you want to make a connection in the community with the artists, you're going to have to spend maybe a little bit more time there. So, while I know that the B-line is convenient to ride, the purpose of it for you meeting the community aren't the same thing. They're two different things. So.
The idea was not the convenience. The idea was seeing as many as possible, because that's a big chance to
again, it's not about seeing as many as possible. It's interacting with the artists.
Well,
that's the main purpose for the assignments.
There was one other added benefit last time, and that was the camaraderie that developed on the bus, just from the one group of people who had to hurry into each exhibit and out, and we looked for each other to get back on the bus. It was really kind of fun, but I understand that
I just think
we're trying to cover.
Right, they're just two different sort of things, and I think the bus would be fine, and I've always been disappointed that I have not been ever able to ride the bus. So.
I suppose that's the point, Richard.
The option is there for people who wants to go on their own to drive and spend more time with the artists in their studios. That option is open, but for people who like to take the B-lines, that will be available as well. So there are no reasons not to be there.
My idea for you: talk with Richard, get your 9 assignments.
I'm sure.
45,
and then do the
and then take the bus line on the others.
There you go. We'll work it out. I mean, it's not like you have to.
Richard, we are all so committed for that, so we'll find our own way of touching and touching.
And I'll talk to you. Well, we'll talk more. Okay.
Well, my goal is to be able to go to all 45.
There you go. We're going to get a stamp for you and have everybody stamp
I'll
ride with you.
If you really can do 45, I'll give you a little gift when I come back.
Well, because what I was planning to do is take the bus ride for a little bit, and then take the car, and then you can hit a few more spots. The artists that you feel might need a little bit more attention or need some help, you can make a longer stop when you're driving yourself. That would be my goal.
Also, we're going to have we're thinking of at least minimum 2 B-lines, which are going to do 2 different routes. So you could do if you did both routes, you would cover, a lot of the locations.
Okay. Any other comments? I have a couple of. Any other comments? One thing. Okay, now I'm going to say it. Since I'm not going to be at this event on the 14th, on that day, I'm going to be flying from Moscow to St. Petersburg. So I will do my own little art tour in those 2 little cities. But if the commissioners, if they write down the number of studios and artists that they have visited, and honestly, just whatever, it's an honor system here, whoever has the most places visited, when I come back, I will get a gift for you from my trip. Okay? So try to visit as many as you can.
We can't do that because right now they said we have to stick to our 5 and not.
No, you cannot. No, you can interact, and that's one of the reasons that I don't really like the Beeline is because exactly that, because the schedule is too short and you just have to dash in and out to be able to catch the next one. I personally prefer to stay and talk and get the more feel of the artist, and that's why I never use the Beeline. But it's a good idea depending on the preference of the person.
Yes,
so I'm not disputing that, but I personally wouldn't do it.
Have a gift for those who go to as many, and have a gift for those who stay longer at certain places.
Only the number.
Oh,
the person who visits most artists gets a little gift from me, and this gift will be either from Russia or Armenia when I come back. So, that's what it is. The comments that I had to make on this issue, I'm really encouraged, and I really have to congratulate both Ripsime and Richard on the way they have done it this year. Most of the new things that comes in is great ideas. Some of them we have discussed in the past 5 years and hoped that it would happen. I'm very encouraged to see that they're at last happening now, like the GTV6 having a comment and a reporter and a cameraman in there, like the press releases, like the student involvement. So I think I really regret that I won't be here this year, but I think you have made.
I have a film for you ready.
I'm really looking forward for this event to be a success, because the way you guys have done it seems to be it's going to be a success, and I'm very encouraged about it. One thing that I have a question is about the banners and the flags. Last year and the years before, they were kind of not as prominent, as visible as we would like to see. I'm not quite sure what you have done about that.
Size-wise?
But I'm sorry?
Size-wise?
Size-wise and color-wise and location-wise. Actually, last year there was I remember clearly about one of the commissioners made that maybe just like the realtors do an open house signage and arrow and things like that to the artist studio, in case it is in a kind of a more residential and hidden areas, whether we plan to do anything like that to attract the attention of the public to that. So, everything that you have done so far seems great. I just have this question. What about this size of the banners and the way that they will attract people who do not know about this?
Can I respond to that?
Yeah.
The banners aren't for people who don't know about this. The banners are for the people that do know about it and want to find a location easy enough. It's not our responsibility, because we would not have the time to go to 45 places and properly position flags. When we give them out to the participants, we tell them to put them in a prominent place out by the curb, so that people who are driving by can have an IQ to see that that's the location. The truth of the matter is we're not going to be making larger banners. But we are going to give instructions, and I would think we would want to emphasize to people to put them in places that are the most prominent for people driving to go see the event, to see it. It's for people to find a location right away.
So maybe you can give instructions to the artists to, make it kind of more visible and more attractive.
Right, and I try and do that every year, but I will also try to emphasize it even more this year.
Okay, good.
Okay?
Thank you.
And the flags are not the only thing that will make it visible. When we had our informational meeting reception in the gallery, I explained the benefits of starting their own marketing. The city is doing everything. We are doing the marketing for them. Press releases, everything is free, absolutely free. So what they need to do to promote their art is very good to have. I gave them a lot of tips. I'm not going to go over all those important things for them to be prepared for the visitors. When they have someone at their studio, they should also pass their business cards to give them bookmarks or something. So it's very, very important that the artists also will understand the importance of marketing their own art to the public. This is a great opportunity for them to make a connection and make new relationships to some of these people. Visitors might become a lifetime art collectors. Mm-hmm. So that's very important for them to remember, not to depend on, the city alone. I think that's a responsibility that I always preach, I always tell that artists also have to need to be there, and work hand to hand.
And we will emphasize this too when we give them their flags and when they bring their artwork. That's something that we will, maybe a little tip sheet we'll give them. So. Okay, Commissioner Wagner.
I just wanted to say I'm sure the artists are appreciative of the experience and enthusiasm you have for this particular part of this job you've taken on. So thank you, Ripsime.
Thank you.
One more question. Is GTV going to go to all of them to tape, or as many as possible?
No, they can't. Practically, they cannot
Just
do that.
impossible. It is
Not the same day, but by any chance?
other days. No, I don't think that will be necessary, but we will give him the map, and it will be totally up to them. We cannot tell them where to go.
Okay.
But most of the activities we know it's taking place in, around Brand area, in downtown area. But all the artist information is also going to be available on the website. And even if we talked about that, even if he won't be able to go to every artist studio, we can use some of their images, even if they don't see it. We do have their images. At least we will have the images without visiting them, will be part of the documentary. So this way, they won't be left alone.
Excellent job. Excellent. Thank you.
Commissioner Lee?
Just wondering, when will you have the flyers ready?
We have the flyer ready.
Okay.
It just needs to. We didn't give him the count how many we want him to print.
And then I think we're also going to add the beeline to the backside of that.
Correct. That's the only reason why we are
And
moving on there.
this flyer will also go out to as a PDF to all our email lists. It'll go to the artists so that they can then pass it on, so they can tell people about the beeline and dates and times. So
And
we're going to do a lot of emails with that flyer. So.
Okay, good. Yeah, because I'm waiting for the PDF so I can send it to email blast.
Yeah. You said the banner or whatever, the announcement appears regularly on GTV6,
Yes.
right? As we.
Oh yes.
As of
Yes,
today.
and I have a copy in my computer, which I can send it to you.
Okay. Excellent.
It's not easy to see it on GTV6 because there are so many commission meetings. You have to spend a lot of time to see it.
No, but that's okay. As long as it appears once in a while, that's what matters. Okay, great. Thank you. Any other comments or questions?
Just excellent idea. You guys have put a lot of work. Thank you.
We'll see. We can't wait to come back to our next meeting and share the results. We will pass around surveys to see how we did it, what can be done better for the next year. So hopefully we will have a bigger, better report for you ready for our next meeting.
Okay, great. Thank you. Let's go to the next item, please.
No meeting in September due to the Open Studio Tour event.
Well, there is no report about that. I think it follows right my first report. We are extremely going to be busy handling many details, and the timing is not right. With Open Studio Tour is going to take place at the second week of September, and the meeting is scheduled on the same week. So we decided that it will be much better for us to come back in October and give you a full report of how did it go, and that's why we decided to cancel our September meeting.
Okay, Commissioner Solis.
I guess this will go for Richard. Have we ever not had a meeting in the month of the Open Studio Tour?
Probably not. I mean, we've never not had a meeting because of the Open Studio Tour. However, you had a full-time staff person at all those times, and at this point in time, you have two part-timers who, the truth of the matter, could not coordinate the reports and do the legwork to do the commission and the Open Studio Tour. I'm not here all the time. I'm only here for a certain amount of hours during a week, and
Mr. Grant, do you know if there is anything in the ordinance that says a commission or our commission has to have a certain number of meetings a year or not to have it? I mean, is it okay just not to have the meeting?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. We did discuss this last fall, too, when we had that. We had to skip one, I think it was in November, December, and it'll be okay if you do skip the September meeting. At your pleasure, you can also set up, in a couple of weeks after the open studio tour, within the month of September, if it coincides, you could always set up a special meeting if you so desire.
But we've already not had meetings in March and April.
Yeah.
So would that...
No, that's not a problem.
That's not a problem.
There's not a minimum number, and we talked about sometimes there are circumstances that will prevent the meeting from taking place, the regular meeting.
All right, thank you. Yes, Commissioner Solis? You said you had a question? Oh, okay.
So if there's not going to be another meeting in the month of September, then I need to say that October my term finishes. That's the end of my term, 3 years.
You will be
with the
here in
commission.
October, right?
I suppose not, because I think
No, you can't
October,
continue until they appoint somebody else. That's...
is that how, because I need to know to say goodbye
That's
to
it.
our audience or not, or it's just basically...
No, don't say your goodbyes yet. Unless they appoint somebody else in your chair, you will be here on October.
Well, I don't think you need to worry about that at this point, but that's another topic.
Yeah, I know.
another
there
topic.
There
Let's-
are other topics.
yeah,
But
let's-
in case there isn't, so I would like to say I was honored to be appointed by the council to this position. It was an experience that I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about the community and etc. And I'm always in the service or at the service of the community within the capacity of a commissioner or not. And there are issues that we have started that in case need be, I'll pursue personally.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but let's keep that for the comments, okay? Let's just stick to the agenda. The issue on this is, I personally would have preferred to have the meeting, although I'm not going to be in town, but, that's not really an issue. But if you just practically cannot do it, then I don't think there's anything we can really say that, right? Yes, I'm sorry.
I would just, given the very limited time they have and the fact that she was hired primarily to run events, I am in full support of
so am
them
I.
using what little time they have for the event.
Yeah, so am I. It's just, but I personally would have preferred that we don't interrupt our meetings because of, other practical issues, but that's another issue. Okay, so we won't have a meeting on September. What's the next item, please?
Update on the Diamond Awards?
Well, there is no report for the Diamond Awards at this time. We worked only, updated the applications and the guidelines, and sent an email blast to our mailing list. As of today, I have only one request who requested the application. So there isn't much going on with the Diamond Awards project yet. But I'm sure the same thing that we have now with the Open Studio Tour will take off pretty soon. Next couple of weeks, we will start sending out our press releases to make sure that public will be aware of the Diamond Awards and the deadline, and go from there. That's the report for the Diamond Award. Yes.
Maybe we can print applications. We have 145 artists passing them out or leaving it at the 45 locations. That could...
For people to promote?
Yeah.
That's
For the
a good
Diamond
idea.
Awards. That's a good
very
idea.
good idea. We can...
you figure that
have
you could have a captive audience already. It's just a timing.
Forms
See,
and
hopefully you can
guidelines
get
ready.
the paperwork. And then if you can email us again, because I think I got it,
Guidelines?
but I don't...
Guidelines at the application?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
sure.
we'll start sending it out to more people.
I think that's a great idea. If you can
that.
coordinate that, that's fine.
Of course.
Okay.
That's another thing. Diamond Awards will be on the website to make it easy for people to download, to print, to fill out, and send it to us.
So will we have enough time, you think, between just immediately after Open Studio Tours until December 4th to organize this whole, another major event?
To be honest with you, this is my very first Diamond Award event, and I will have to listen what Richard says. We think there is a lot of work involved. but we also feel confident.
Well,
But if you do this, Open Studio Tour is also your first event, and if you do it the same way as you are doing, I think we don't have a problem.
And that's why I think that we'll be able to do it. We'll see.
Okay, I'm sorry, Richard, I cut you off, but...
No, I said, my comment to that is sort of what you just said, that when we're putting our full attention to it, we're going to see a difference in the amount of people responding to it. The truth of the matter is, we don't have a lot of time right now to go out and grab people and touch base with a lot of different other organizations to see for them to participate. It's because we don't have the time. So once we're freed up a little bit, then you'll see that change.
Yeah, we will see the results right after the Open Studio Tour.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Okay, let's go on the next item, please.
Commission staff comments.
Any comments? Yes, Commissioner Solis.
Nothing negative either, so just
Yeah, you better be positive.
for the community to know, as we all know, Mayor Draymond brought up they want the status of the Arts and Culture Commission to be in the next 2 weeks, which is good. It streamlines us, and we all know what's going to happen. But I would just like to encourage the community to come out and speak in these next 2 weeks. If there's ever going to be a time where you have a say in the arts and culture of the city, it would be now. The council has open ears, and they're willing to hear and see what everyone wants to do. So, we have a lot of people, Mr. Sadoyan, the other gentleman, I'm sorry, but they come all the time, and a lot of people that used to come in our evening meetings, that used to speak with us and have a good time. This would be a great opportunity for them to go and speak with council and tell them what they think should be done. Obviously, it doesn't matter what we think, but maybe if the community, they might have a bigger say than we do. So that's all I want to do is encourage the community to go out and speak with council. Come to the meetings on Tuesday nights, start at 6. Oral communication is usually at the end of the meeting, so prepare for a long night sometimes. But like I said, just come out and say your piece, and whatever you think should be done. This is now your opportunity to get that across.
Okay, Commissioner Wagner.
With respect to that comment, I really don't know exactly what the proposals might be for the future of the commission or for a new future. I do welcome the conversation, and I'd be very interested. I know that Mayor Draymond had previous experience on, and I forget what he called it, an arts board or a Glendale Arts Board that was connected, I believe, with the county, and that, as he described it, it was a very, it was a larger group. It wasn't a commission. It wasn't in the format with the television, but that it was very effective in putting on juried art exhibits, and I'd love to hear more about that. I know that for us, in some ways, in many ways, a commission is a limiting arrangement. This formal format and the Brown Act certainly makes sense to me. I sit on the Board of Education, and we represent the public in a different way, and I certainly understand the importance of the Brown Act and of the formality of the setting, because of the decisions we have to make and the policy that we make. With our commission, I think I would certainly be very interested in discussions about the future. I don't know what it is. I don't know that it might continue as a commission. My term is also coming to a close, and although I expect to stay involved in the work of the commission and any bridging. I believe as president this year on the school board, and with an election facing me this year, I will not. The continuing on the commission is probably not the. I don't particularly relish just a television appearance when there's a lot of work to do. So, I don't know personally what my involvement will be and in which form, but I certainly welcome the conversations and the support, the real interest in Mayor Draymond, and I believe in the other members of the council in in looking at how we might better serve the community.
Okay, thank you. Let me just remind my fellow commissioners that this is just commissioner comments, so we are not going to have any debate or discussion on this issue, but if we need to express ourselves, then this is the time. And
Yes, and
Commissioner Derawanis.
I wanted to say the same, more or less. It's just there are different ways of being active and participate in different events. There are certain things that within commission you have restrictions, that's correct. Yet most of us, I do believe, we are somehow deeply involved with community. We are considered either community activists or we are representing different agencies. Yes, the mission and commission of this commission could be pursued and followed in different capacities, and definitely there are many things that we have started that we need to see it more embellished, more flourishing, and getting to its destination, because some of them are really vital for this city. So, and if need be, privately or whatever, could be discussed with different community members that what needs to be done, what would be effective for this community. And yet you're right, we have to see what our council decides and what our community wishes in that respect. We are here to serve.
So I did all the comments, but let's go on and promote.
Yeah, that's good.
We have saved the dates sent out already for the Unity Festival. It's going to be October 12th on Brand Boulevard this year. So the location is it's going to be a first. It's going to be on the 300 block of Brand Boulevard. So I encourage everyone to save the date. We're planning a little bit different of a format, and trying to bring a lot more visibility to bring unity to the city of Glendale. On another note, at a closer date, we got September 13th in Chinatown. We have a Mid-Autumn Moon Festival, which is to promote the Asian culture. So hopefully everybody can come out. It's a free event, open to the public. It's from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. It will be at Central Plaza. There's an archway. It's between 943 to 951 North Broadway in Chinatown, 90012 zip code. There's plenty of parking. You can even take the people from the other areas can take the Gold Line there. There's going to be Chinese acrobats, Shaolin monks. We have cultural performances. There's going to be a mooncake demonstration. We'll show you how to make mooncakes. There's going to be a lot of people there. You can visit the website. This is put on together by the Chinese Chamber of Commerce and the LA Chinatown Business Improvement District. The website for where a lot of the promotional information is at is www.chinatownla.com. So if you look that up. And on a different note, the Chinese Chamber of Commerce puts on a Miss LA Chinatown pageant. We're recruiting contestants between 18 and 26. Must have a minimum of 25% Chinese ancestry. So we promote diversity. A few years ago, we had a very diverse Queen and Court group. So we encourage that. Applications are online at www.lachinesechamber.org. You can click on the Miss LA Chinatown website off of there and be able to download an application. So please, anybody who has any friends that will be interested, please push. The deadline should be sometime in September, and I think it was extended to first week of October. but it's all listed on the website. So please join and help us recruit. Thank you.
Okay, let me have no other comments from the commissioners? Okay, let me just make my few comments on this issue. I was made aware of the issue of the council and contemplating to have the staff report on the Arts and Culture Commission last week, actually Friday, when I had a call from a reporter from the news press who left a message on my answering machine to see if what my comments were. I didn't have the chance to talk to the gentleman, so I went to the meeting of the City Council on Tuesday, August 19th, and apparently the staff comments were kind of postponed by a couple of weeks for some additional information that they had requested. So I have not really seen the staff report, and I don't know what it is in there and what they will recommend. I put my 2 cents as a private citizen and as a commissioner on my own opinions in the oral communications, and basically what I said and what I really believe is that I absolutely welcome this attempt by the mayor and the city to reorganize and restructure the Arts and Culture Commission and its goals and its activities. I think that's a very positive step that we can take. I personally feel and I know that the mayor and the city staff are very interested in promoting arts and make sure that arts are a good component of an everyday Glendale life and the Glendale community. So I'm very encouraged about the fact that they want to look into it and find ways of promoting it and making it better. My personal feeling, which is quite well known, is that I'm really hoping that we would get an arts and culture department in the city, equal to all the other departments, with proper staffing and proper budgeting. We have all the resources to do that. We have the talent in the city to do that. We have the good staff, and also we can get the budget if we do it right through the through the development impact fees that we can collect from future projects. There are many high-rises and projects scheduled for the city and in town, and I'm sure just 1% is not going to be a big dent on the developer's pocket, but it will make a huge impact on the development of arts and culture in Glendale and having a policy. So that's basically my personal feeling overall. And I'm really looking forward. I'm just, I might repeat my colleagues' comments that, I welcome the debate over this issue, and some of us might have a different vision of how we could get there, but as long as the debate is open, public, in front of everybody, and as long as everybody can put their vision and 2 cents in, then hopefully the whole overall direction will be a very positive one, and will take the arts and culture activities in Glendale to a higher step. My personal feeling is this is not an issue about us individuals as commissioners. It has nothing to do with our seats and our positions. It has absolutely nothing with that, and I would really welcome the city to even dissolve this commission, whatever they think that will take this commission to a better step and the arts and activities be in Glendale. So basically that's my personal feeling, and again a reminder, on September 2nd the council is scheduled to tackle this issue, and that's tentatively scheduled for that date, and hopefully we will see what comes in before then.
So you're as well there to sponsor and do anything needed as in any capacity to carry your passion for the community as far as art.
I thought that was quite clear.
That's a wonderful feeling.
I thought that was quite clear. I think, this is not about this commission or us. This is about arts and culture in Glendale, and that's basically what it is. Okay. Next, if there are no more comments, next item on the agenda, please.
Written communications, I have none.
No written communications. Okay. So before adjourning, which is the next item, let me remind everybody of several activities. I mean, Glendale has a huge talent and all kinds of activities, but I will just remind some of them that we were discussed today. The Brand Libraries and Art Center has an incredible new exhibition starting September 27th, and their opening reception will be Saturday, September 27th at 4 p.m. at Brand Libraries. The exhibition is called Brand 37th Annual National Juried Exhibition. So please don't miss that, September 27th. One of our friends, Alex Sadoyan, is having a personal exhibition on the opening reception is August 30th. It will be about 3 weeks from that date at 4 p.m. The address is at Sadco Galleries, which is located at 305 North Brand Boulevard in Glendale. Then we have our studio tour scheduled for September 14th, and that is a Sunday, almost a half-day event, and the opening reception for that is September 13th in Brand Galleries again, I believe at 4 o'clock. Saturday, 3 to 5. Okay, so please don't forget our open studio tour. This year is going to be a really major success. Then please, everybody, look forward to the Diamond Awards nominations and our next major undertaking that we will do. And please make your nominations and, get the forms and everything. And finally, on October 12th, from noon to 4 p.m., we are going to have our annual Unity Fest. This year, the venue has changed. It is going to be on Brand Boulevard instead of the old Verdugo Park, but this is going to be a really, really great event. So with that, I invite all the public for our comments, and don't forget the September 2nd council meeting also. And with that, I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.